Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur lived simply for the service of all living beings. He was so humble. Even his own disciples, when they would come before him and offer obeisances, he would always greet them as Prabhu, and he would address them with the words Dasosmi, I am your servant. By his example, although he was so great, so majestic, so powerful, he was so humble, so gentle, so compassionate. His heart was filled with the sweetest, ripest fruit of divine love. In 1933, he performed the Navadvip Parikrama with his devotees. Thousands of devotees and pilgrims were there. And when they came to Navadvip town, the caste Brahmins and the Goswami class, they were very much offended by his preaching. He was preaching against Sahajism. He was against the polluted caste system. He was against polluted Brahmanism. He was simply preaching everyone has the right. Whether you are a man, whether you are a woman, whether you are a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew or anything, if you chant the holy names, you can attain the highest perfection and make disciples all over the world. But these people did not like. So as he was coming through Mayapur or Navadvip Dham, the caste Goswamis, they actually hired hoodlums and gangsters by the dozens and dozens and dozens, and also corrupted the minds of so many townspeople, and they were spitting on them and throwing rocks and bricks and stones at them. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati told them, do not retaliate, just take the name of Krishna. And he himself was being hit by rocks and stones, as well as all of his disciples. And they just carried on dancing through the streets, chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It was said that the dogs may bark, but the caravan will roll on. In 1935 also, on his 61st birthday, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati was in Jagannath Puri. And at that time, Srila Prabhupada was living in Bombay. And at the Gaudiya Math here, he wrote a beautiful, beautiful offering, which included a wonderful poem that he read to all of the fortunate and blessed guests who honored that occasion. And Srila Prabhupada's offering was so beautiful and so philosophically perfect in capturing the essence of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati's life and soul, his mission, that it was sent to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati. And there was one famous verse in that poem. Absolute is sentient, thou hast proved. Impersonal calamity, thou hast removed. That the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is a person. The impersonal aspect of the Lord is only one of the Lord's energies. It is not the highest realization. It is not in any way even desirable by a devotee. The idea of becoming God, the idea of losing your eternal personality and individuality is like spiritual suicide. That in the ultimate sense, according to the revealed scriptures and according to the realizations of the greatest acharyas, the absolute truth is a person. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ishwara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha Anadira Dir Govinda Sarava Karana Karanam. His beautiful body is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. And the bodies of all of his associates are eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. And every spirit soul has innate within it a spiritual body, a spiritual personality, a spiritual form, and a special, unique relationship with the Supreme Godhead. And the highest realization is to go back to that realm of spiritual existence in which we become an integral part of the Lord's Leela or pastimes. to serve his beautiful, all-attractive, all-pleasing personality forever. And that is bhakti. That is prema. That is real love. But in this world, impersonalism has become so rampant. The impersonalists misconstrue and cheat people with the misconception that ultimately the Absolute is formless, without personality, unlimited, and that impersonal Brahman temporarily takes a human form when he comes into this world in the mode of goodness, just to teach us all to go back to merging into the existence of himself. That the forms of the Lord are illusion, the forms of the Lord are temporary, that this world is illusion, that everything is illusion that has form, that has name, that has variegatedness, that has personality. Material form, material variegatedness, material personality is illusory. This world is real, and the soul is real, and God's form is real. And the ultimate understanding that we are not of this world, but while we are in this world, we should use the things of this world for the service and the glory of Godhead. And unless we accept the Lord as a person, we cannot develop pure love. So this impersonalism is a calamity. And Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati came to remove that and establish Krishna. When Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur heard this poem of Srila Prabhupada, he was so overjoyed and pleased that everywhere he would go, he would read it to whoever he would meet. And he would say, this Abhay Charanaravinda, he has understood the essence of my heart. And when the devotees would hear him praising, they were thinking, just as Rupa Goswami wrote a verse explaining the way Lord Chaitanya was feeling in his love for Lord Jagannatha. And Swarup Damodar said, he has understood your mind because you have given him your special mercy. The devotees of Gaudiya Math understood that Srila Prabhupada had received the same mercy from Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur. Srila Prabhupada ki! It was in that same year of 1935 that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur went to Radha Kund, where he lived there for over a month. And Srila Prabhupada went to visit him with his son. And they spent many long hours together discussing so many subjects. And one day as they were walking on the banks of Sri Radha Kund, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur told Prabhupada that when we were living in Ultadanka Junction Road in that rented house, everyone was enthusiastic to preach. Everyone was satisfied with whatever Krishna provided. But now we have been given this beautiful, beautiful, spacious marble temple at Bhag Bazaar. And now we find the devotees are fighting over whose room should be for who. And there is distrust and disharmony over who will get the wealth for whatever they want to use it for. He said it will be better if we tear off all the marble from that temple and use that money to print books. And he told Srila Prabhupada, if you ever get money, print books. If you want to please me, distribute my books. We can see how Srila Prabhupada, his only request to us is to simply engage us in the service of his spiritual master. That is parampara, disciplic succession. He told Srila Prabhupada that there is a fire in the mat. Be careful. There will be great disturbance. And that message went so deeply into Prabhupada's heart. Print books, distribute books. On that order of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, tens and millions of Vedic literatures have been translated, printed, and distributed in every continent of the world by Srila Prabhupada. That is the power of the transmission of the message between the bona fide spiritual master and his bona fide disciple. While Prabhupada was in Bombay, it was in 1936, Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Because at that time, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was very ill. it appeared quite obvious to everyone that Krishna would soon call him back to the spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada wrote in his letter that you have many disciples who are sannyasis and brahmacharis who are just 24 hours a day with you and serving you. But I am a grihasta with so many other responsibilities. Please instruct me, how can I serve you? And Srila Prabhupada received a letter back from Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Prabhupada from Jagannath Puri. And in it he repeated the same instruction he gave him in 1922 at their first meeting. That please take this message of Lord Chaitanya, the pure message of love of Godhead, and spread it throughout the world in the English language. This will be to your greatest benefit and to the greatest benefit of all you touch. It was just a couple weeks after that the closing pastimes of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur's Leela took place.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on thesacredconnect.com.